Oh, g'day everyone. Our joke of the week this week was sent in via my YouTube channel, so that's really cool. Fish On sent the joke through. So, Harry, what's this week's joke?
My mate bought a new dog last week.
Your mate bought a new dog last week.
Yeah, he took it for a walk for a park and it got attacked by ducks.
He took it for a walk to the park and it got attacked by ducks.
Yeah, he knew he shouldn't have bought a purebred.
Shouldn't have bought a purebred. Anyway, doesn't matter the quality of jokes, get them in. You've got the wasabi spoon, the gudu, and the orgy for your efforts, Fish On. So send us your details and I will get that posted out to you. Well done. Thanks again, champ. So if you'd like to win a prize, get your jokes in. Next week we will give away another prize. And all you got to do is send your jokes in and Harry will select one to win a fairly decent prize. So get your jokes in and look, we better get on with the show. Hey, mate?
Yeah.
There we go. You don't need to make it a good joke to win a prize. That's well done to Fish On for sending that in last week, and so he won that prize. We do have a lot to go over tonight. I know everyone's sort of sitting in there waiting to see Declan, and we will bring Declan on in a minute, but I do have some other stuff to go over first. So first of all, the joke prize, Fish On, get me your details, mate, and I'll send that out. So that's all good. Listen, we set up about halfway through this series of Chewin the Fat with the Cap. We set up what we call the Pay It Forward campaign, and I was looking for causes and ways to give away from the Pay It Forward campaign. Well, one has popped up this week, close mate of the show and a close mate of mine. Tim was way back in episode 8, and he come on to show what life as a co-boater was like. Well, now he's gone ahead and won himself the Queensland Open, which was really good. Excellent, $5,000 or whatever it was. Blew his gearbox going up to the dam, and then all of a sudden the $5,000 is gone. On the way back, he celebrated a little bit, got back on Wednesday. He woke up and didn't feel quite right and ended up in hospital for a couple of weeks after having a brain bleed. So, listen, I know it's hard. We're going to, for the next 10 weeks, while we're doing the Bluefin Alloycraft Ambassadors interviews, we're going to run a few auctions to raise some money for Tim. So, listen, tonight we're just going to auction off something simple because it's only just popped up this week. So we have what we've got here is a Molex Berkeley sets of plastics and a full box, about $200 worth or more of barra lures. So make sure that, you could say they're big yellow lures, barra lures. They work on bass, there's jerk baits in there and everything. It's a great prize pack. So we're going to auction this off tonight. So the highest bidder will win it, and that cash will go to Tim. Now it's to pay for his physio bills. He's having problems with left and right hand side, so he needs intensive physio for the next probably 6 months. So we just want to help him out with his raise some money. So that's this week's prize. Put your bids in. There's no reserve on it, so whoever gets it, that money will go directly straight to Tim. And over the next 3 weeks, we're going to raffle off, or we're going to auction off, I should say, 3 prizes, which is for the Victorian viewers. It will be a charter with Benny Faro. For the New South Wales, it's a charter with Glenn Ford, and for Queenslanders, it will be a charter with Matthew Langford. So they've all donated a full day's charter. We will raffle them off over the next 3 weeks. Starting bid, thanks, Chris, at $50. So, it's all for a good cause. That's what the Pay It Forward was set up for. So we will be doing these over the next 10 weeks. But enough on that. I've got breaking news tonight. It's not often a little show like mine gets the first dibs on breaking news. I want to bring something up. If I can get this computer to work properly here, let me find it. For all of you guys that haven't seen, this is probably, it's been a local thing down here in Victoria and New South Wales. you'll be able to click on that link as of tonight. This website is going live tonight. It's new Teams Fishing Australia events, which will be happening next year, COVID allowing. And I'll just give you a rundown. We've got the Lawrence Native Classic at Glenbourne for Bass on the 5th and 6th of March. It's two people per team, $1,100 entry. If we get 60 teams, it's 20 grand first place cash. So that's the Glenbourne round. Then there's the Mulwala round, which is the Boats and More Native Classic. It's on the 30th of April to the 2nd of May. It's a $1,500 entry, two people per team. That'll be 30 grand first place if we get 60 teams. There is only 8 spots left for that one, so get in quick for that one. And then there's the Wilson Native Classic on the 11th and 12th of September. It's, again, $1,100 entry, 60 teams, first place, 20 grand. That's at Lake Windermere. So we've got Mulwala, Windermere, and Glenbourne, bass, yellers, and cod. It's a full-on, just big prize money. But I've put the link in the comments, so you'll be able to jump on that and have a look at that website as we go. So that is our big scoop. The Team Fishing Australia website will be going live tonight, I believe, some stage after the show. So really looking forward to that. So don't forget, I will watch the auction as we go. We're up to $75. Well done, Chris. I will not announce the auction winner until after the show, so I'll go back and make sure that I haven't stuffed up like other weeks that I've done that as well. We have week 2 is Tristan Locke. So we announced that on the Alloycraft Brand Ambassadors page or group today. So Tristan will be on next week, so I'm looking forward to interviewing Tristan. But this week, we've got Declan on. So we've announced Declan. I better find him. We've had some audio problems tonight. But yeah, let's get Declan on. We'll have a quick chat. You'll be able to put your comments in there as well. So let's just bring Declan up. G'day, mate. How you going? Oh, look at that. I've done something wrong here. I've got to unmute you. Hang on. There we go. Look at that.
Beautiful. Can you hear me now?
No, we've got you now. That was my fault. I know we've had a few issues from getting this set up, and we've actually gone to plan B. You're actually on the iPad. So
definitely working in
yeah, we're going. And I told you I'd make it easy for you, and we're still running around at 8 o'clock trying to get it all linked on. So go easy on this guy, guys. Listen, your entry, I'm going to play it here. So people that aren't on the page, and we'll just look. I've got to find it's really hard over here with this all the way over here. But let me find your entry. I believe this is it. So I'm going to change us this way. And let's just listen to this entry for Declan's Brand Ambassador.
What's going on, guys? My name is Declan James, and this is my Alloycraft Ambassador Apprenticeship audition. As you can see, I am super keen to get out there. The boat's rigged up, the big diesel's ready to crank, and I cannot wait. For your lockdown edition today, guys, what I'm going to be running is a Kistler Medium Helium 3. I've got that paired with my Shimano Corrado DC XG, so we've got the high gear ratio to really be able to pull back that line for these Victorians. And today what I'm liking to use is just a plain old fiver. We know a Victorian loves a $5 coffee. So here we go, let's get into it, and hopefully we snag it. Alright guys, so my passion for fishing really started off at a young age. I was just lucky enough to be able to watch my parents grow up into large amount of bass scene. So really exciting way of fishing, and something that really kind of caught my eye from a very early age. At 6 years old, my family made the move to cross the ditch and move to New Zealand. That's, I guess, where I lived most of my childhood, from 6 till 18. During that time, the passion within me for fishing really drove on forward every weekend, whenever possible. Whenever I had a spare moment, I was trying to convince my younger brother, jump on the bike, let's go for a ride. And often we would ride kilometers to the closest creek or beach for us to just be able to drop a rod and sit back and wait for it. I think, you know, none of my brother's fondest memories is, you know, the moments where the sun's going down and he's keen to get home, keen to get back warm, and you know, I'm trying to convince him, no, the bite's still about to come on. It's about to come on. Guys, I think it's about time. Let's switch up spot. Nothing seems to be biting here. Let's get on the plane and see what else we can find. At 18, as I mentioned, my journey was not then over, where my family and I made the move across the ditch to Melbourne, Victoria. And I really think that since making this move, that's where the passion for fishing has really taken off and gone to a next level. You know, getting amongst the technicality of what it means to chase, you know, specific species on specific lures and how that all works. Let's run a little bit of V-roll as we enjoy the journey to our next spot. During my day job, I'm an operations business leader. I have a team of dedicated employees who absolutely kill it day in and day out. I've been with my company 7 years and I'm extremely proud of the successes that I've been able to achieve along the way. Outside of that, I'm a keen bass angler. I love getting into bass. Watching the steam come off the lake in the early morning is what I live for. I was wanting to get involved in the ABT tournaments this year as a non-boater, but unfortunately we all know old mate COVID came along and really put a hack into that. But nevertheless, I'm still going to keep pushing for it and I cannot wait to get amongst it. Alright guys, we're now at our second spot. It might look the same, believe me, it's not the same. We've got some nice cloud cover rolling over, so hopefully it might help us to entice the bite. Let's get into them. So some of the ways I feel like I can add value to your business is that I really do have a natural, I guess, desire to want to succeed. There's really nothing that I'm really going to back down from. I think, you know, my past experiences have really taught me that if you want something, you've got to go bad enough and hard enough to get it. Along with that, I'm keen to get immersed in your world rather than just be a part of it. I've got a hunger for knowledge and I'm gonna go after it until I get the answers I'm looking for. In addition to that, I do understand when it is a time to ask questions, as well as a time to then just sit back and essentially listen and soak it up. Alright guys, time to mix it up. 5 up, not getting the job done. Time to really commit. We're going right up to the 50. It seems to be a bit of a slow bite this morning. Perhaps coffee shops aren't open as regular as usual, but we're going full send now. Hopefully some online shopping will entice the bite. In addition, I guess, to having a really, I guess, strong personal brand and, you know, really being passionate about the importance of personal branding, I feel like I can add value to your business in the sense of networking. Obviously, coming from a corporate background, I'm fairly confident in my ability to be able to network, being that it's a natural occurrence within a corporate environment. In addition to that, I've also had a lot of success in growing social media platforms in the past that have been able to prove themselves in assisting businesses with their sales and building ongoing clientele, which I think is a huge success and something that would be really valuable for a program like this. Alright, let's get amongst it. Out goes a 50. Let's see how we go. Y'all don't really want it like, yeah. Here comes the. Yeah, finally. Feels good to finally get one on the deck. You know, not a bad specimen. But in all seriousness, guys, I guess finishing it off, above all else, is that, you know, I've got a born passion to want to help others succeed. You know, by being able to be immersed in this program, I feel like it'll be a great opportunity for me to be able to better myself, to then be able to take that forward and really try to build a growing passion and a burning passion like I have in other people, so that they can also get to experience the sport. Cheers guys, tight lines.
Can you hear me? I think you've got my sound off.
Yep. No, I had once again hadn't clicked the right buttons.
There we go.
So yeah, you've been in lockdown in Melbourne. You were able to put your entry in. I was really impressed with the fact that you still got an entry away being in that hard lockdown situation. How have you been going personally with the lockdown, mate? Not been able to get out.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a learning experience. You know, all in all, I mean, there's been a lot of factors to lockdown for myself, obviously professionally and as well as personally. I'm not one to not be able to like doing what I want to do. So you know, just being, I guess, getting around it and really trying to see what's available within my 5-kilometer radius. Been lucky enough to find a little mud pond which actually has redfin in it. So been spending a fair bit of time down at the local park having a flick for redfin. And I guess, you know, just making the most of it. That's all we can really do at this stage after getting some good news today. So already got the annual leave booked in though.
Yeah, look, you've got the 25Ks at the moment, and it's going to expand, obviously, in a couple of weeks' time. So looking forward to seeing what you come up with. But tonight's all about the Alloycraft Brand Ambassadors apprenticeship program that we've got up and running. You've made the top 10, so we do congratulate you for that. But part of the process we set up, we wanted something unique, something that's never been done in the world, let alone in Australia. And Bluefin Boats has come on board. They've fully optioned up a boat that we're going to give to somebody at the end of the 10 weeks, and somebody's going to walk away with 2 years worth of free boat, and then obviously the option of stepping up into a pro team member, going into something like myself in the 498 or the 530 or one of the 463s in the Bass Pros, which is on the wall behind me. So there is so much happening behind the scenes. Brad has got so many great ideas. But one of the process was put your entry into the page and get through to the top 10. So we are still taking entries for that. We will take them all the way up into the end. But if you leave it till the last week and there's 2 good entries, you could miss out. So get those entries in, get onto that Facebook group. It's quite easy to do, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, very easy. You know, as soon as I saw it, jumped on board. You know, getting amongst it. Instructions are really straightforward. Definitely urging anyone to get around it and get stuck in.
Yeah, no, and that's what it's about. Look, we've got the bid is actually going to my partner Nikki inside. Harry's put a bid in. We've got $100. So yeah, that's the bid for Tim. So we'll keep that going. We've got questions coming in, but we wanted to make it fair on everyone. Obviously, you've been drawn out first of the 10 candidates. So if we did the same thing each week, by the time we got to the 10th candidate, they could rehearse everything they wanted and blow it out of the park. So we wanted to make it a little bit different, and that's why we've got you on live. It's easy, you know, it's not easy, but you can edit out mistakes. You're stuck out there on live. So the way that we've done a bit like a game show, mate. So what I have here is we've got five different sets of questions, and these questions will rotate through. So it doesn't matter. You could get the same. Each person could select the same question, but I want you to pick a number between 1 and 5.
We'll go with 1. We'll just
number 1. All right. So we'll find number 1. So these are questions, and we'll take questions from the pack as well. So listen, we've got one straight up here from Lisa. Let's see what. And Lisa's another candidate. She's put an entry into this as well. So we'll see how easy she's gone. I think you're a champion. If you're not picked as the winner, you should look at doing some mentor program for younger anglers in your hometown. So there you go. You've got people checking it out already.
Definitely appreciate that. I would love to do that for sure.
Yep, there you go. So have you got any questions for Declan? Get them in, but I've got them in my hot hand here. So we'll start off. Brad sent these questions through, so I've got to put my glasses on to read them, even though I've printed them out a little bit bigger for you. Let's go with look, we'll make the easy ones first. All right, we'll get the easy ones for you. So tell us about yourself.
About myself?
Tell us about yourself.
I can tell you that I've personally conducted many interviews, but never been put in a hot seat like this. It's definitely different feeling it from the other end. But I guess a bit about myself, where it all kind of began. So I guess I was originally born in Zimbabwe, and lived until I was 6 years old there. That's kind of how I guess summarized it in my entry, is that's where my passion for fishing kind of grew. My parents were into largemouth bass fishing over there. And then from there, my family and I moved over to New Zealand. And in New Zealand, I lived there till I was 18. From doing schooling, got heavily stuck into field hockey. I actually represented at some of the highest levels in the country. Was lucky enough to travel internationally playing field hockey. And then, I guess turned 18, got a bit rebellious and decided, what, I don't want to be told what to do and how I have to do things anymore. And, as soon as the opportunity came up to move across the ditch to Australia, that's where I then found myself. From there, got myself stuck into an awesome company, started off on the phones in the front line and kind of work my way through, I guess, the ranks there and find myself in the position that I'm in today. On my weekends, enjoy fishing, absolutely love fishing. I've got a dedicated passion to wanting to help others progress and improve, and obviously that's mostly why I find myself in the position that I'm in.
Yep.
Love spending time with my partner and her niece. Just all around outdoors family guy, I guess.
Now, I heard a story this week actually about you. Now, it's not often when you don't know anybody. This is only the third time we've talked, and I was talking to a mate of mine, Benny Faro, and he's donated one of the charters to give away to raise money for Tim. But Benny's a very accomplished fisherman, very well known in the Melbourne area. And he said you were one of his first charters, if not the first charter with Ben, and then went out for 2 or 3 more. So you have got that drive to learn, haven't you?
Yeah, look, I guess it started off by, first purchasing the boat, really getting excited after watching a heap of YouTube videos. Got myself out onto Blue Rock Lake and kind of did what I thought was right and kind of what I'd learned from YouTube videos and managed to crack into a couple fish. And then from there it was kind of, I went to one of the Central Vic Lure Casters tournaments and saw Benny ripping it up. Took away every single award out of his kayak, and all of us are shooting around in boats. And I thought, this is the guy I've got to learn from. If anything, he's either going to reply to me, and I'll get him out on the water and hopefully learn a couple things, or it'll go the other way and I won't hear from him. But luckily enough, he responded to my message on Facebook. Pretty much told him he was the guy that I needed to learn from, and lucky enough, we did a couple sessions from there. And to anyone who gets the opportunity to raffle off for his day on the water, honestly, I couldn't put a price on it after what I've learned. Fantastic days on the water, and definitely, cannot thank Ben enough for his support, for sure.
Yeah, no, the little man can fish, so I'll give him that. So just keep plugging his brain every time you're talking to him, and excellent. Now, I have got the postcode winner. We're going to go early. So Harry sent the postcode winner through. We have we've had these donated for the show. So 2 gangster spinnerbaits here to give away for the postcode prize. So those guys that got it in early this week, and it's going to Intrapilli, Queensland 4068, and that's Brett Castle. So Brett, all you need to do is send me PM me your details, and I will send them up to you. So you'll get to use them probably the next time you're cod fishing. They're big lures for you. You probably do all your bass stuff up there. So look, as I said, this is a totally different process. We didn't know how it was going to go. We didn't know how you guys and girls that have entered. I shouldn't just keep saying guys, but how you guys in the group have entered and going through this. I've never seen anyone have to sit a job interview live online where people can really, and nobody's picking on you, so that's great. There's no full-on questions in there, so that's really cool. But you said, you've learning. I know COVID's held you back this year, but what has been holding you back in previous years from taking the next step in the sport? Why has this meant so much to you?
So I guess what's really held me back in previous years is really pursuing a career. Myself moving across from New Zealand at the ripe old age of 18, I guess potentially didn't do the right thing or did do the right thing by not getting a university degree and really got stuck in at the absolute foundations of the company. And essentially, I've pretty much dedicated the last 6 to 7 years to really grinding out, I guess a performance to build that brand to the point where I've been able to push myself forward. And I guess in the latter years, I've really started to realize that there's probably more to it than really just pursuing this cloud career that I've got in my mind, and realizing that there are things that I really loved doing when I was much younger and through kind of my teens that I've lost track of since moving to the country. And I guess there was a section there where I was into modified cars, and from there built fantastic friends group and some great relationships along the way. But then, I guess once I started doing my investigation on what's around in Australia to start fishing and seeing, the different types of fish and, the diversity of how you can catch them and where you can get them and where you can go and the places it can take you, I think that's what really kind of brought that passion back for me.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. And look, I totally agree. I've just spent a weekend away with my son, and as he's teaching me so much in the sense of he's 11 years old now, and he's teaching me that I used to always rush to get to where I was going. It was a rush to get everywhere, and COVID's taught me to sort of sit back and smell the roses, so to speak. And we don't rush anywhere now. It was a 2-hour trip to go over to Echuca from here. But I think it ended up taking us 4 hours to get across and 5 hours to get home, because it's about the journey. It's not always about the destination. And fishing does take you to some wonderful places. I've been all over Australia and lucky enough to do it. So we've got a question in the comments, another one. So another good one. So Brandon has asked, have you ever or still do help the community, help contribute towards your local community?
Yeah, look, I guess as part of my company's I guess overall objective and requirements is to make sure that we give back. So for a number of years, I used to help out with preparing food for the for Christmases and things like that for homeless people. It was called based in Brunswick. It was. I'll have to come back to you with what the industry has been. What it was called. It was.
It's been really politically correct these days. I mean,
Yeah.
You can say the wrong thing and get yourself into trouble. With Tim, I rang him earlier on today, and I said, "What can I say, mate? What am I allowed to say?" Because I didn't want to offend anyone or do whatnot. He's had a brain bleed, he's had a stroke, but is that the right way to say it? Same with you. You don't. Do we typically call them homeless anymore? Who knows?
But
yeah.
There's a fair few things which we're as a company we get involved with, helping out with mentoring younger I guess less fortunate individuals and really showing them what's possible and trying to help them out in their journey and their milestones that they're having to cross.
Yep. So we've got another bid in there as well. We've got $120. So, Tim, that looks like at least now we've got at least 2 weeks of your physio bills paid for, mate. I'm so happy about that. Keep the bids coming if you want to win that pack. As I said, going through it, there's plastics. I should open it up and show you. There's some slick rigs in there. You've got some some vibes, some soft vibes as well, some pencil poppers, some live prawns, some Predatex, and a heap of different jerk baits here, a couple of jackal ones and whatnot. So there's a heap of money in that pack. So yes, $120 is the biggest thing. So how you feeling, mate? You're easing into it a little bit. You're still a bit nervous.
It's a new experience. I'm enjoying it, but
you're enjoying it. Well, this is what it's about. Obviously, for going forward, what we're looking for is the right person for the position. Somebody that's obviously going to build the brand, the Bluefin and Alloycraft brand. I mean, you can't be expecting to give away $20,000+ worth of goods for getting nothing in return. So you've been set a challenge by Brad. I have nothing to do with these. I don't know anything about the challenges. Each contestant or winner, I should say, gets a challenge each week to do on the show. But you have sent me through some details that I do have to make sure that I can get this working for you. So I'm going to bring this up on the screen here. And let me see if I can change this around. Yep. So we've got myself, we've got you, and we've got your PowerPoint thing here. So what was Brad's task? What does he set you to do, mate?
So what my task was is to essentially create a presentation for our viewers tonight on the Bluefin Wildcat Pro.
Now, just I think you found out during the week that the Wildcat and Bill, it's a leading bidder at $120. Actually won a Wildcat Pro that Bluefin had donated to Bass Nation, and I bought it off. Bill. I fell in love with the boat, so you found that out this week. But let's see if I can get this going for you. So you've got 3 minutes, haven't you?
Yeah, roughly.
Yep, time. If I can't get this to start, you've just got to keep talking. I'll keep fiddling from my end, all right?
Yeah, no, that's cool. I'll just signal you when to change it. It's not automated, unfortunately. Awesome. All right. So when it comes to usability and versatility, look no further. Today, we're going to be talking about the Bluefin Wildcat Pro. So along the way, some of you might know this one as potentially the Firecat or the Stormcat, but what you'll now find is a refined range, sporting 3 different sizes to ensure that we have the right one for you. Over to the next one for me, please.
Can I get this right? Yep.
There we go. Awesome. So the specs list across all 3 sizes is impressive, to say the least. So whether you're a weekend warrior or a tournament keen angler, there's a Wildcat Pro here for you. Now, one thing that's important to note and often looked over when purchasing your next dream boat is the specs and essentially what you're looking to get for your money. Now, it's important to note that across the Wildcat Pro range, on average, you're getting bigger dimensions than what the competitors are offering in the market. Important to note as well that all Bluefin Wildcat Pros are produced right here in Australia and are backed with a 5-year warranty. So Bluefin is a company that stands by quality, only ensuring that the best possible materials are used in the process of building your dream boat. Over to the next one for me, please.
Yep.
Great. Now, the stereotypes are broken when it comes to Bluefin innovation. So the Easy Ride hull started development back in 2013 when Bluefin set its eyes on revolutionizing the aluminum boat world. The Easy Ride hull takes the level of quality to a whole new level, and no more is an aluminum boat thought to be outclassed in the way of handling. So I guess, what this means for you is that essentially what you'll be getting is that the unique design hull will allow for faster planing, smoother handling, and exceptional stability on your next adventure. So whether that be going after the fish of 1,000 casts or, potentially just enjoying some gentleman hours on the water, you'll want to ensure that you are going to be comfortable. Great. Over to the next one for me, please. All right. So when it comes to features, let the extensive tick box and lists of options be a thing of the past. One of the core values at Bluefin is value. And this is, I guess, resonated through the ever drive to ensure that you get the most for your money. So hence, I guess the motto there being that they dare to compare. What is important to note is that there's an extensive list of features, including a full rod locker, front and rear casting deck, as well as 5 spacious storage compartments, which are all part of a standard inclusion of the Wildcat Pro range, ensuring that there's never going to be something that you have to go without, never having to worry about, did I choose the right options? Everything in the Wildcat Pro is there and ready to go. So what essentially Bluefin wants to see is that when you get yourself into one of these Wildcat Pros, you're ready and prepared to take on any adventure that you're looking at getting yourself into. So whether it be offshore, potentially tackling some yellowfin tuna, or perhaps getting down the Murray River chasing the elusive cod, or even getting stuck into some of the country's finest tournaments, the Wildcat Pro is ready to go. Now, if all of this hasn't been enough for you, the team at Bluefin is absolutely dedicated to their motto, built with pride. Now, I can attest to that via customer feedback. So throughout the week, I've been going to boat owners and Wildcat Pro owners of the past, and getting their feedback and real insights on what they thought about this product and how they found Bluefin as a company to work with. And essentially, backed with the motto and these great customer reviews, it can give you the utmost confidence in your next Bluefin Wildcat Pro purchase. Now, if there's any additional information which you wanted to find out in relation to the Wildcat Pro or any of the Bluefin range, you feel free. I'm happy to help out and answer questions where possible, or alternatively as well, feel free. Jump online at www.bluefinboats.com.au, where they'll happily get your memories started.
There we go.
Awesome.
In under 3 minutes. I didn't actually time you, but well done. That's awesome. So that was your challenge this week. So that's you've done well with that, and that was only sprung on you early in the week, and you had to put that all together yourself. So Lachlan Moore has just commented, well done. So you're doing great, mate. So as I said, very hard to do an interview live online and to get sent a challenge. Kevin said, well done. So give him all the accolades, guys, because it is very hard to do. Where think about yourself in a job interview, and we're doing that online. So and listen, we've got another donation. Brad's just sent me a message through. He's going to donate something for Timmy's cause, so we'll get that done. Look at all these comments coming through, mate. Well done. It must make you feel a little bit better. I know it's very stressful, and but we're trying to get the right person for the job, and we want everyone to be on the same playing field. And you're doing great so far. So the big question, I suppose, to ask you right now is, where do you see yourself in 12 months, 5 years, and 10 years from now? What are your long-term life goals, mate?
My long-term life goals. So if I had it my way and I could do anything in the world, it would honestly be to be able to go and be an inspirational speaker. I would love to have that ability to touch many and really help people to see what is truly capable of themselves, if they're willing to just kind of put the time in and really dedicate themselves to it. I think this day and age especially, a lot of younger individuals probably get caught up about what is this person going to think about me, or potentially how am I going to be seen if I'm the one to really kind of try early. And I was absolutely guilty of that in my younger years. So yeah, if I had it completely my way, I would I would be doing almost anything possible to be able to give back and really influence others and younger I guess younger people to really strive for their goal and shoot for the stars. In 12 months time, where I hopefully see myself is out of COVID and out of lockdown, and essentially be able to travel and I guess really getting into the ABT tournament. So I was super excited. Benny was definitely doing a great job of absolutely G'ing me up for every single tournament this year, and then unfortunately COVID came along and that was crushed. So for sure, in terms of I guess my fishing aspect, and then where I kind of want to take myself and progress myself within this sport, it is to get into my first ABT tournament, and start really kind of getting amongst the competitive side of the scene. Moving forward into 5 years' time, definitely, I guess, taking what I've been able to learn within my career, and channeling that forward, really, pushing myself to the extent where I can look to help and influence others, and really kind of bring them up on the journey as well. Often I think people are very quick to get themselves to a position, and then forget about kind of where they started, where they came from, and it's left behind, and essentially your attrition dies out. So that's something that I've always held really close to my heart, and something where I could see myself in the next 5 years is mentoring someone, potentially be in a position where I'm at, or mentoring someone through what I've been able to learn, and essentially to what you guys are doing now, pay it forward.
Excellent. Now, that's great. So what I think a lot of people forget, and especially when we get into tournament fishing, and we're talking tournament fishing in general, everyone wants to be a tournament fisherman, but they don't realize how long it takes. I mean, a lot of people crack in and do something really big really quickly, but there's guys out there, and I mean really good fishermen out there that go 5, 6, 7 years without winning a tournament. And these guys, that I would class in the top 10 fishermen that I've ever met that have never won an AOY championship. So they're hard to come by. They're very rare. Do you see yourself pursuing the fishing side of things long term? Because we need a look at Carl Jockinson in the States. Great ambassador for Australia. He's it's a 20-year journey to get where he is.
Absolutely. I mean, I follow Carl on all the socials, and the life that he lives is phenomenal. In terms of, to your point, great ambassador, a well-rounded guy, with great views on things, and very, very kind of level-headed. So in terms of if I had the opportunity, or even somewhat of an opportunity to live that life, absolutely, I'd be pursuing it and dedicating, much like I have to my current role. Dedicating every single moment, waking second, to being successful in that. Absolutely.
Tim has just put a comment on there. Now, Tim's on there. He's humbled by the experience of us raising money for him, and he said it's not that hard. 4.1 meter tinny and mates is all you need. So if anyone hasn't seen Tim's interview that he did for ABT, jump on. He wasn't even doing the comp. He went up and pre-fished with Matty Langford. So, and Matty said, you should do this. And then he went out and cracked it. But not only that, is he wiped everyone from the field. So that'll lead into our next question. You said, if I was the winner of the ambassadorship, give us 3 achievements you'd like to tick off in the first 24 months.
First 24 months.
Yep.
I think, one of the really, I guess, grounding fundamentals is just understand what it is. Really, really understand what it is that Bluefin is wanting to be successful in this program, and really set out some strong, smart goals to making sure that those are achieved. I think that would be a fantastic, a fantastic start to the first 24 months. From there as well, second would be to establish a reputable brand. I think, as an ambassador, and especially when representing a company in such a public forum, for the first time ever, I'm on a live interview. It's important to really have a great brand, and I guess an established and reputable brand. You want to be known as that guy from Bluefin, who's a great guy to be around, and super helpful. And that is in a sense is something that does take time, and I think a good 24 months developing something like that could really grow a brand from essentially not being known to a brand that is reputable. And from there, I guess the third goal, which I would be looking to smash out in the first 24 months, would be to I guess just really enjoy it. I think a lot of I guess the best work you'll ever do is when you've got a dedicated passion to it, and it's not you're doing this because you're an ambassador, or it's part of a role. You're really enjoying it. You're really getting stuck in. You're being humbled by the, I guess, wealth of knowledge around you, and you soak it all up. From there, you then be able to set some real smart goals to push forward, and to your point, potentially move into a pro angler, or even further from there.
Yeah. So we started this off about, I don't know, 25 weeks ago. Brad has looked after me with Bluefin for a long time. And I bought prize boats for him when we were running Lake Boondooma for the family fishing comp. We've had an association, and when I moved back to Victoria, I wanted to step back into aluminium. I looked around, I couldn't find anything that suited me. I loved that bass boat style, and I just rang Brad up out of the blue and said, can you custom build me one? And he said, have a look at these, which ended up being the Bass Pro, and I went with the 498. And we've built a fairly good relationship up over the sort of 5-6 year period. Where do you think? Now this whole situation come around to pay it forward? Brad's always supported the tournament scene and given boats to the tournaments. As I said, my first boat was a prize boat that I bought off Bill and Cindy, and it's all out there. And I asked him for something we could do, and this is part of a brainchild of both of us, but we've put this out there, and we've got conflicting information and people saying that it's too hard a process to be involved in, or why would I need to do that? I've got 10,000 people on my Instagram. I can do whatever I want. So we've got both sides of the story. I'd like to ask you this question: what do you think should be provided to the brand ambassador in return for their efforts? What would you think is a fair assumption?
A fair assumption. Look, I think honestly the fact that Bluefin's willing to provide you with a vessel just to be able to get involved. I'm in a fortunate enough position where I do have myself a little boat. But for a lot of people out there who are just wanting to get stuck in and really get involved, it potentially could be something that pushes them back from even trying. I think that's a massive kind of investment from Bluefin in itself. And then from there, you can make the fundamentals work. The fact that you're getting a boat and essentially a mentorship, I can speak from experience from Benny Faro. Honestly, I ever kind of in that guy's debt for what he's kind of taught me, and the real burning passion that he's built within me just from the knowledge alone. That would be my personal perspective on it, is what is being offered up. Everything else can kind of come over time, and you'll be able to work things out and to make it work. But just the fact of being able to represent a company with people who are so passionate about it, and kind of have that mentorship for 24 months and really learn and be immersed amongst the program and essentially the sport itself is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, look, as I said, we had no idea. There's been no other template of this. This is going to be an ongoing thing. We're going to do this for years to come. It's a 2-year mentorship with the option of stepping up after that, and then the boat will join back into and we'll run another mentorship program. In the case maybe in 12 months' time, you might want to step up straight away, and the boat goes back into the program when we run it again. But it's not just me being the mentor. I know I'm sort of the captain of the team, so to speak, but, as soon as I said I was doing this and it went Australia-wide, we had, I think we've had 80,000 views on the original post, and it's gone wildfire all over the place, and we've had different views coming in, but, people have been contacting me saying, oh, but I'm in Queensland, how are you going to mentor me? Well, we've learnt down here that things can be done remotely. There's no problem about that. But mates have jumped on board. I've got heaps of mates up in Queensland. I've got guys in New South Wales, upper and lower New South Wales. They're all going to help out. If I can't make it to a comp and help you out, they're going to help you out. So, there's more to the program than just winning the boat. We've got possibility of, it growing to a stage where the whole Bluefin fishing team comes together and we do some more stuff in that sense. So, I'm glad you said that the boat's enough. That's a great answer, because I have received messages on how much we're paying and how much is the weekly wage and stuff like that. So some people think there might be a little bit more money in fishing than what there is.
I think something I've definitely learned along the way is knowledge is probably going to be forever the hardest thing for you to gain. And for that, I think, with the amount of different people willing to get involved is massive. Honestly, something you probably couldn't buy.
Yeah. Now, get some questions in, guys. Feed them in. I know everyone said, well done for the thing. Timmy's still on there. Fill your bag and be humble. Get better soon. There's heaps in there. So, yes, we are raising it. It is $120 so far as the highest bid I've seen from Bill Slosh. So, let's see. Let's see if I'm going to ask one more of the questions off the list for you, mate. But what I want to do is give you the opportunity. Would you like to ask any questions at the moment?
What kind of inspired you? I know you said that you've realized kind of during lockdown and spending more time with your family that giving back is really important. But what kind of pushed you into the realms of kind of getting to that pro angler league and then realizing for the longevity of the sport, this is something that you wanted to really kind of commit your time to, because essentially you're probably going to be a hell of a lot of your time committed into this program, which is a massive thing for someone to kind of dedicate to. Yeah,
I'm going to answer that, and I'm brutally honest. And this is one thing that all of my mates know me. I turned into one of those bass wankers. I went out and I bought the big boat, and I thought that my shit didn't stink, and that I was good, and I won a couple of teams championships with Langers in Queensland, and everything was going along swimmingly. And I got to the stage where some people pulled me aside and some good mates and said, "Hey, look, maybe you've stepped out of the realms of being yourself," and pulled me back into line. And then COVID sort of hit, and it was just a big eye opener for me that it was really time to turn back into what I used to be and stop thinking that I'm better than everyone else and start believing and giving back. So we started with the Pay It Forward campaign. Obviously with the show, we started as a bit of shits and giggles, but the more feedback I got from people that I'm doing a great job, and that really lifted me. I went through mental health issues for a long time, which didn't help, and I've sort of come out the other side of that a better person. My family, Connor's an entrant in the competition, and everyone knows has seen his entry, and good luck to him. I'm not choosing the winner, but it's all about family. It's all about helping others out. And COVID has taught me that, and it's brought me down a couple of rungs. And, I just want to give back to the sport that I love. So great question for me. Well done.
I think in itself, that's probably a fantastic story to be able to tell. The amount of people who probably got themselves into a similar position, potentially, that could be an awesome story for people to hear from beginning to end.
Yeah, you've got to turn yourself around when you get into a bad situation. You do have to turn yourself around. You've got two choices: continue the way you are or get better. So I chose one way, and hopefully it's the right way. Now I've got a couple of questions did come through. Lisa's asked one here. Question: I'm super keen to know your PB bass and where did he catch it?
So my PB bass is 48 centimeters to the tip. I wish it was to the via the tail, and it was caught on Glen Maggie Lake.
Yes, there you go. There is big fish down there, but not as much. So that's a big fish for down here. Don't get me wrong. When people are fishing dams like Somerset and Kenya and whatnot, even Glenbourne 10 or 12 years ago had some whopping fish in it. So that's a great size fish. So well done. Tristan, I love this. You'll love this question, mate. What advice do you have for future interviewers?
Look, I guess, they do a great job of trying to make you comfortable. Just be prepared that you probably won't be. It's absolutely out of the norm. And like I said earlier, I've conducted I would almost say hundreds of interviews, and never one quite like this. So it's a learning experience, but yeah, definitely enjoying it, having a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to make it different. We didn't want to make it easy. We wanted people to jump through some hoops, and you're doing a great job. Jamie's put in, what's he put in here? The other 9 applicants better step up. This guy's killing it. So, you should feel good. My job here is, to make you guys feel comfortable. I'm supposed to be a mentor, so I'm supposed to help you out, make you, a little bit more relaxed in this situation, but still, make you come out of your shell a little bit. And I think you've done really well tonight with that. Really enjoying the long answers. There's been no yes and no, so that's really great. Each week we're going to ask us. Jesus, we've already been going an hour, believe it or not. So this is, as I said, it will go quick. So good night, Harry. Thanks for watching again. Listen, we've got some situational questions. Now, these can be answered in a million different ways. They're a situational question to do with fishing. I love these. When Brad sent these through to me, I had a big giggle. Now, I'm going to ask you the question. I don't expect you to blurt an answer out straight away. Have a think about it if you need to. All right, I can cross over and go over and do some other stuff to help you out here. But there are 3 situational questions on here. Right, I want you to pick 1, 2, or 3.
Let's go with 1.
All right, number 1. You've picked a good one. All right. I should have actually printed them out, but I'm not quick enough to do that. So your situational question is: you're on the last day of a grand final. You're sitting in 3rd place. You've bagged out and think you might need 1 more upgrade just to get the win. If there's a possibility to take the win, but there's only an hour to go in fishing and you notice a boat on the opposite bank taking on water, what do you do and why? Now, do you want some time to think about that while I'll go over some other stuff?
No, I think, that's for me morally, the question is absolutely you've got to go and check it out, right? You can't be leaving someone behind. I couldn't care if you were in 2nd place and you needed 1 gram to win, by putting someone else in danger or potentially ruining someone else's day. That's not on, and essentially that's going to create, for something like this, that's going to create the worst possible brand. You'll be known as that guy forever, to not have helped out in a situation where someone was in need. Ideally, what I would do is gun it over, check it out, see if there's any way we can put the boat on the bank, chuck them on the boat, and we'll fish together. We'll hit that last spot together, and then hopefully be able to take out the win and meet someone new along the way as well.
Excellent. And as I said, there's no right or wrong answer to that, because unless it's in the rules of the comp that you have to go to a boat in distress, you don't have to do it. You don't want to be that guy for sure. But yeah, listening to the whole questions, and this is my tip for future interviewers. I'm not going to give many future tips, but listen to the whole question, and you did, obviously, because you had an hour to go. So what would have stopped you on any dam in Australia with that J45 with the 50 horse on the back to be able to run them back to the boat ramp and still come out and fish for the last 15 minutes like Carl did, catch a cranker and win the grand final with all the feel-good stories. So, yes, well answered. No, really well answered, mate. So that's a good one. That's that situational question. Now, let's have a look. Boat lives matter, Timmy reckons. So, obviously, here we go. Fish on. What's your favourite fish to target?
I love your Instagram page, by the way. Definitely follow you and watching what you're posting. My absolute favourite fish is bass, Australian bass. I cannot get enough of it from the very first, and I think Corey played a picture of it. It was about this big, caught on a little fat dog chubby. In Blue Rock Lake, and since that point onwards, I had the biggest smile since that day for the first fish and every single fish beyond that. I absolutely love them. Can't get enough of it. Just something about the lake. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, look, as I said, Corey's Dam Fishing, I started doing, it was Harry's Kayak Adventures that we started. We were doing kayak adventures up in around Harvey Bay. Then we moved into the caravan parks, and it was too hard to do those, and started doing the charters and sightseeing on the dams and whatnot. I just love that whole freshwater environment. Don't get me wrong, I still love to go to the beach and everything else, but, you know, and bass. I mean, I was only talking to a friend today. It's been 32 weeks the show's been running. So the last time I actually chased bass was the late St. Clair round of ABT at the start of the year. So I'm just so hanging out for bass. I was talking to 40 last week, and he told me at the family bassing comp he caught over 50 on surface. And I'm like, this is, you know, prime time of year. They won't open the New South Wales border. Yeah. But, you know, you just got to put up with these things. Hey, mate, we've tipped over the hour. You've done an awesome job. I still had heaps of questions I could ask you. Do you want to? We'll ask the last questions. We'll get a few questions in there. I just need to make sure that I gave away the postcode prize. Fish On won the jokes. So make sure you get your jokes in. It's that easy. Fish On sent a joke through last week, and he won $30 worth of lures. Bluefin, there we go. Brad's on, so he's watching you, and he said picking just one winner is going to be ridiculous. I have said to him all the way along, it is, and you guys are killing it. And girls, I keep mentioning, we're just going to put you all in one bracket. Fishos. So you fishos that have put your entry in. Don't forget to put an entry in. You've still got time. We've got some cracking entries there. It is pretty easy. Tell us the steps, Declan. What have you got to do to get your entry in?
So first of all, you got to jump on the Ambassador Facebook page. It's a private group. Just search it and click join, and then one of these guys will give you entry. The rest of the steps are in the about on the page. So you've got to like and follow both Corey's Dam Fishing and Bluefin Boats on both Facebook and Instagram. Get yourself set up with a video similar to something you would have seen at the start of the live stream. Feel free to reach out. I'm happy to help out with kind of ideas and things like that on what I've learned. And then from there, I guess the second or fourth part to it was that, you know, really looking to push that product forward and push the brand ambassador. So share it around, make sure we get as many people as we possibly can getting involved. That way, you know, we get the strongest applicant for this role, which is going to be massive in making sure kind of the progression of the sport continues.
No, that's really well done. Thank you for that. I put you under the pump. That was not rehearsed, so you've done well. You've done really well tonight. I've enjoyed talking to you. Okay. You know, the entries have been great, and I'm really loving them. But if you still want to get an entry in, get your video in. It's just search on Facebook for the Alloycraft Brand Ambassador Apprenticeship. Just type that in your search bar. It'll come up. It's huge now. We've had so many views on the videos that it should be first in your search engine. Ask to join the group. You'll see all the other entries. You can see through. There's no secret in the entries. And really good job tonight, mate. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in weeks to come. We've got Tristan Locke on next week. So even if you want to join the group just to see Tristan's entry, to give yourself some ideas, if you want to put an entry in, I'd be joining the group to see what everyone else has done. Anyway, let's just go through the list. I've given away the postcode prize. Next week, we've got Tristan Locke on, so I'm looking forward to that. The joke prize is done. The auction for Timmy is done for now. We've got until I go off air, but it's sitting at $120. I think it was Bill Slosh earlier on, but I will double check all of those. I'll announce the winner next week. But over the next 3 weeks, we are going to be raffling off a charter. Now, you've talked about Benny Faro before. We've got Benny Faro next week. We're going to auction off. So for everyone in and around Melbourne, or Victoria, because we're opening up soon, we'll be able to go and do some stuff with Benny Faro, learn some stuff. Then the week after, we're going to be auctioning off a full day's charter with 40. And then the week after will be for the Queensland guys to do a charter with Matty Langford. So those guys have all donated a full day, valued at over $500 each. So get your cash together for the next 3 weeks, and let's see if we can raise some money. I really want to get down and get Tim some funds to get his physio through to Christmas. COVID hit. He lost his job. He lost his part-time job. He's got no benefits. So this is what it's all about. This is what Pay It Forward's all about. Love you, bro. I know you're on there. We'll raise you heaps of money, and at least, you get your physio paid for. So that's it for us tonight. I just want to tell everyone, I'm going to bring this up here. I might bring this up. So if you can see there, I'm going to put this on solo while I'm talking. The website should now be live. It is teamsfishingaustralia.com.au, and you will see there that they've got Lake Glenbourne, Lake Moala, and Lake Windermere. We've got all the entry forms and everything on there to get your entry forms in, get them in early. They're massive prize pool. So you can see there, based on 60 teams, that's 20 grand first, 10 grand second, 7 grand third, 5 grand fourth. So at fifth place, you're still winning more than what they did for some of the other comps going around. So big cash in that one. I'd like to thank Galbo for letting me drop that information on tonight's show. So get on there. That should be live now if you want to put your entries in. Everyone's saying, well done, mate. You've done a wonderful job. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it off here. We have been on for a bit over an hour. This will cut you off. I want you to log back in. We'll do our final stuff off air. But, you've done an awesome job, mate. I really appreciate you putting yourself through the ringer. We've got 9 more to go, and then somebody's going to win the ambassadorship, and all guns blazing. We've got heaps of stuff happening behind the scenes. We want to grow the Bluefin fishing team. We've got, fingers in every pie. Hopefully we've got some, I've donated a Lowrance fish finder to the boat if we don't get a sponsorship deal. So it's going to have finders, electric motors. It's going to be fully decked out, ready to tournament fish. So really looking forward to that. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for all the entrants. Thanks for all the donations to Tim's prize. And listen, mate, we'll talk off air. But to everyone else, I will see you this time next week, and we'll be chatting with Tristan Locke. All right, bye for now.